Hello. Today we're going to be looking into the next corporation on the shit list, and that is CVS. CVS is a pharmaceutical chain founded in 1963, run by Karen S. Lynch. CVS has nearly 10,000 store locations as of 2018 and employs just over 200,000 people as of 2017. Revenue is $169 billion as of last year, operating income stands at over $7 billion as of last year, and net income is $6 billion as of 2017. Let's take a look at CEO Karen S. Lynch. She has served as the CEO of CVS since 2021. Her income for 2022 totals at $21.3 million between her $1.4 million base pay, $2.9 million in bonuses, $12.3 million in stock awards, $4.1 million in option awards, and $354,000 in other bonuses. Her base pay is roughly 41 times that of pharmacy clerks, assuming pharmacy clerks are full-time workers, which according to Indeed are paid nearly $18 an hour. A good wage, sure, but I doubt that Lynch is working roughly 41 times as hard as her pharmacy clerks. Something is brewing in CVS though, and the company's labor force is on the brink of rebellion. They're tired of getting yelled at by customers, they're quitting left and right, and the company is set to close upwards of 900 stores and lay off 5,000 people. The employee base is understandably up in arms and are organizing walkouts and unionization efforts in a bid to facilitate improvements to working conditions and improve job security. Usually I look to Reddit for stories to tell, but I'm going to be trying something a little bit different today. I'll explain why in a bit, but today I'm going to be looking at reviews for the pharmacy specialist position on Indeed. Pharmacy specialists make $13 an hour. The first review, a 2-star rating titled "Just No, Unless You Have a Family to Feed," reads, "Working from home and pay are the only two positive things here. Unless you like having patients scream at you or you need the money for your family to feed them, then this is the job for you. Supervisors have favorites and you get stuck on the phone with patients without help when you are new. They move you through different positions every few weeks and you have to go through training again and again. Pros include pay and benefits, cons are short breaks, supervisors not caring about your work-life balance, and inadequate training. While I certainly don't care for getting flogged by rude customers, I sure could use some money. Because it seems most of the income my family gets is spent on luxury stuff. Not saying any names or pointing any fingers, but all workers deserve a living wage, even if you're just sitting in a cubicle doing nothing all day. But is a living wage worth being berated all day and being undertrained and overworked? No. Maybe if I was being paid an exorbitant wage, I might be able to justify working with hostile customers, but a living wage is what the minimum should be. The next review, another 2-star review, titled "Stress Test Apathetic Management," reads, "I have worked for CVS Health for around 9 years, and I have worked for a couple store locations, most recently the CVS in Manlius. Lately, I have seen a lot of employees come and go. I have seen a lot of struggle within this company. It seems to have started since Caremark acquired CVS. They turned away from the friendly atmosphere they once knew and became money hungry. Reducing hours, asking more and more of hardworking employees with little compensation. You get vacation, but if you should ever work for the Manlius CVS Health store, good luck using it. Doctor's appointments? Good luck getting time off for one of those, even if you have a condition. Very little care in this company. It is a bit sickening a company like this can exist. Beware of this company. It will turn you into a husk of what you once were. Pros include a job. Cons include the company's manifesto and working you to death. Unfortunately, this seems to be a reality with most retail companies and especially fast food. Even if your wage seems like a decent wage, your employer will exploit you to the point that $13, $15, $17 an hour isn't worth the stress. When I was working in fast food and at Walmart, vacation time built up so slowly that people were getting 2 weeks off after 6 years. Every day, places like Walmart fire pregnant women instead of give them maternity leave. Retail and fast food companies do not care about equal opportunity. Even if they say they do, they hide behind at-will employment and deny people jobs and fire them because of their disability, skin color, appearance, etc. Lastly, we're going to look at a 1-star rating for the pharmacy clerk position, titled "Poor Management and Disregards Employee Needs." It reads, "It felt as if the environment wasn't inclusive and everyone gossiped about one another. As a clerk, I learned nothing but how to use the register, and when I asked to learn more, I was told by my manager that there was nothing to teach or they were too busy. There's a lot of pressure to get PCTB certified, and there's no guarantee of going full-time as it goes by how many prescriptions are filled. Hours are scarce, even as a part-timer. I expected to work 20 hours a week minimum, but would only get 5 hours a week, max 15 hours if I was lucky. There are no pros, and cons include strict breaks, non-inclusive environment, and more. I could not work in a place where my coworkers were shit stirrers. It's why I didn't like my deli job back in the day, because there was this one old witchy woman that would yell at us, her coworkers, complain about how we worked, and was constantly a bitch when she didn't have the manager there to tell her to knock it the fuck off. I stormed out one evening because she started yelling at me over literally just me doing my closing tasks, and after that, I asked to not work the same shifts as her. Went to Walmart, had the same issue. The maintenance team lead was a fucking dick and would harass me and the other stocking associates anytime he took a notion to. He would yell at us, bark orders, and try to intimidate us, again over small insignificant problems. And it didn't help that he and the other supervisors were pretty much their own clique. That kind of thing is a deal breaker for me these days. If an employer doesn't have the balls to fire problem people, I won't continue my employment with them. Anyway, OP goes on to claim inadequate training, common theme here. Managers couldn't be bothered to train them, let alone help. It's a high pressure environment. Hours being scarce is something that I can relate with. When I was working at Dollar General, I had to transfer stores because a family member got hired on as the new SM. I have to say, I'm surprised that my experience working at Dollar General wasn't completely negative, and I enjoyed working with the company. Still, they could ditch the anti-union propaganda, but I imagine I would still be working there if I didn't let my folks talk me into quitting. The manager at the store I transferred to would have me believe that I could get promoted to third key and then hire one of her friends off the street to be a third key. It seemed like exceedingly few hours. I would usually be working the last 4 hours before close and work 3 days out of the week. There would often be 4 to 7 days in between my most recent shift and my next shift, and I would come back needing to get reacquainted with the register. Pay was horrible, as you could imagine. I was hardly making enough money to pay for gas. On top of that, there were rumors that the SM favored women and didn't want to hire men. And even still, she ragged on her third keys, saying they were unreliable. But 5 hours a week sounds awful. Great, so you got a job making $18 an hour, but don't even make as much as someone at Dollar General working 12 hours a week. Yeah, I'd definitely be quitting if I were you. If it's a viable option for you, quit your job at CVS, seek work elsewhere, go to school to become a medical professional. If jobs are scarce and you're worried that going back to school will ruin you financially, then my suggestion is to learn about labor unions. Let me guess, someone in your workplace, probably either your boss or an actor in a CBL video, told you that unions are bad for you. They make false promises. All they want is to take your hard-earned money and the store will close because of the union. They tell you all of this even though they have never been in a union to be able to confirm this for themselves. You, as someone that has likely never joined a union, have no reason to believe this. How many false promises and lies have you been told by your bosses throughout all the places you've worked? Between set schedules, equal opportunity employment, and promises of eventually being promoted, I've completely lost my patience with employers that spread lies and misinformation about unions. Unions rely on dues to help run the organization and support striking employees. Due levels are agreed upon between the workers and the union, and typically cost about $50 a month. Corporations will ream on this talking point, but what they conveniently forget is that people typically pay no less than $500 a month in rent, and proceed to pay their workers so little that they have to make the decision of either keeping a roof over their heads or eating. A union would be able to solve a lot of these issues. For CVS in particular, a union might be able to help with getting more hours, making sure employees are adequately trained, filter out problem employees, give workers certain protections when it comes to hostile customers, increase vacation time buildup, and ensure that workers are able to use that, as well as ensure workers have days off for doctor's appointments. If you can't take my or the union's word for it, talk to actual union workers. Finally, if you do unionize and the store does close, it won't be because of the union. The company uses every tactic within their reach to stop their workers from unionizing and empowering themselves. If they don't succeed in halting the unionization process, their next step is to close the unionized store. Corporations spend more money on union busting than what they would lose from a store unionizing. It's now less about money and more about power. And it's why I've started to favor revolution over reform and quitting over unionizing. CVS employees can benefit from joining a union. If CVS cooperates, good on them for having the dignity to negotiate with the working class. If they resist, then mass resignation is fair game and they bring their downfall upon themselves. A pack of wolves is stronger than one bear. A united working class is stronger than their corporate overlords. Let's work together and let these swine know that they exist on our watch, not the other way around. And I think that's where I'm going to stop. This next part is bonus viewing. I'm about to explain why I chose not to view Reddit for this video, so if that interests you, stay tuned. If you've had your fill, be sure to like the video, share this video with your coworkers, tell me your experience working at CVS or elsewhere in the comments below, subscribe for more content like this, and click the bell for notifications. But anyway, I decided that I wasn't going to look at Reddit for our stories today. I need to preface this by saying that lately, I've been trying to get suspended from Reddit, and it finally happened last week. Basically, I've been spamming and being a widespread buzzkill. Stuff like grammar corrections and being harsh to people that proudly admit to a wrongdoing, such as cheating on their significant other. I've been doing this pretty much all summer, and Reddit finally decided to strike me down on September 27th. And honestly, I couldn't be happier. I've already posted about it on my community tab, so be sure to check that out for more details. But it's so fucking frustrating. And the people on that platform act like such snobs. I don't want to be associated associated with that platform and the people on it, and I honestly celebrated when I saw this on my screen. Fuck Reddit, fuck Redditors, I'll drink to my youth and to days come and gone, for the age of degeneration is finally fucking done. It wasn't roast me that did it, it was enough PCM spam, which is banned for being fucking worthless. And enough Vosh spam reinforced my hatred for these spineless chronically onlines when they fucking banned me when I called out people that were using anti-white racial slurs. Which, by the way, thank you for reminding me why I oppose identity politics. I don't understand how someone can claim to be a socialist but advocate for continuing to uphold the ideology that has caused the most destructive wars and bloodiest atrocities in human history. Call me a class reductionist, but I firmly believe that the only identity we need is class. We're never going to get anywhere if we continue allowing stuff like race to divide us. And I guess that's all I have to say. Again, if you like the video, please be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. It'll be super helpful as I look for a new way to promote. Thank you for watching, and I'll be back next week or sooner for another video. Bye, guys.